Hey y'all, my name is Mare. Welcome back to my channel. Wow, my voice sounds way worse than I anticipated it sounding. As you might be able to hear, I am sick. My tongue is completely red because I have just been sucking on cough drops all day, every day, because I have a cough. We love that, it's glamorous. Why am I here? I am here for a weekly reading vlog, which might not actually be a week. This is going to just be a reading vlog where I talk to you about what I am reading, as one does in a weekly reading vlog. Regardless, what I am going to be reading this week, I cannot make any promises to you. I cannot make promises to myself, but I am currently planning on starting Seafire, which is a pirate book. That's all I know about it. I am planning on reading that with Katie from Katie Can't Read and Skylar from Skylar Reads, because we literally love to buddy read. So that is my first plan of action. Then after Seafire, I think I'm going to be reading A Dragonbird and the Fern, which I actually do have a synopsis for in my head because I just read it. It's about a girl who is a princess, and then her sister is killed, and so she actually has to go after her sister's betrothed. And then when she starts to date him, she realizes that the assassin of her sister might actually have been from the king's country, and so she has to get down to the bottom of the mystery to actually see if she can save her family. That's what the book's about. That is an arc I have off NetGalley, and it comes out August 3rd, which will probably be after this vlog has been posted, so this book should be out by now, but I do need to read it before the publication date, and it's been honestly really intriguing me. I just haven't really been wanting to read on my iPad. I've been preferring to physically read, but you know what, we're home all day. Might as well read on my iPad, right? I also have started Watching You by Lisa Jewell, and fun fact, I read 2 Lisa Jewell books. Invisible Girl, is it called Invisible Girl? The purple one with the word invisible on it. I've read that one, gave it 3 stars, didn't care for it, thought it was okay, mediocre, bland, whatever you want to call it. And then I also read Then She Was Gone, and if you watched my recent reads video that I just did, you would know that I gave it 1 star and I hated it, and I couldn't tell you why. So I really can't tell you why that I have decided to pick up another Lisa Jewell, and I think that it's just because I already owned it, because it was like $3 at the thrift store, and I bought this before I read any Lisa Jewell. So now I just have a 3rd Lisa Jewell book that I'm probably not going to enjoy. But this one I think has to do with some sort of town and everyone has a secret. It kind of reminds me of The Woman in the Window, even though I know it's not The Woman in the Window, but if I end up reading this, I'll tell you more about it later. I think the last thing I want to update y'all on is the very last book that I read, which was it's not They Wish They Were Us. It was They'll Never Catch Us, which is by Jessica Goodman, the author of They Wish They Were Us. I have not read They Wish They Were Us, but I did read They'll Never Catch Us, which is about 2 sisters, Ellie and Stella, and they're on their high school's cross-country team, and at this cross-country team, high school, whatever, in the past, there have been a lot of cross-country runners that have mysteriously been murdered by a serial killer. Now, the serial killer has been gone for a while. They caught him, and it hasn't happened in many years, but their town is known for this. Now, in the current day, one of their new cross-country team members disappears, and they later find her body, and she was killed in the same way as these previous murders. So everyone thinks that the serial killer is back. I wanted to mention this book because it was another arc that I read, and this one actually just came out on the 27th of July, so definitely go pick it up if you like mystery thrillers, YA mystery thrillers. I thought it was fun. I thought it was really engaging. You could definitely tell that Jessica Goodman does a really good job of writing. She knows what she's doing. She's written a book before. It was very, very readable, and I thought that the ending was ultimately surprising. I didn't really see it coming, and I also was able to make a lot of guesses and still be proved wrong. My biggest thing with this book is that, like I said, it follows Ellie and Stella, who are 2 sisters, so you're actually following both of their perspectives in the first person, and I oftentimes got their perspectives mushed together. Like, I thought I would be reading from Ellie's perspective, but I was actually reading from Stella's, so I wish that there was a bit more differentiation between the 2 of them in their chapters and in their heads, because it just made it kind of confusing to read about, especially when certain twists were revealed. I also didn't really feel like the main characters had enough of a reason to be shocked and upset when the cross-country team member was ultimately missing. And that's not to say they can't be upset their team member's missing, but it was the new girl of town. And I feel like the author portrayed this picture of them all being super, super close, when that wasn't the case. Like, you read from their perspectives, you knew their feelings about this girl, and I never once kind of got the picture of closeness. So I feel like either this book took over a longer span of time than I was aware of, and it just made sense that they were close friends, or like I just misread the situation. But I thought that there needed to be more justification for a lot of emotions and feelings in this book. But ultimately, like I said, I really enjoyed it. I gave this one a 3.5 out of 5-star rating, and if you like mystery thrillers that you don't have to think too hard about, I think that They'll Never Catch Us is definitely up your alley. Now, I sound god-awful, at least I do in my head. I don't know how I sound to y'all. It's probably much worse. I'm gonna go read about some pirates in Seafire, and I'll talk to y'all eventually, hopefully when I'm sounding less terrible.
I don't need to think about it. There's nothing in this world that we can't do. Flowers even mad about it, 'cause they can't bloom like you don't. I don't see a way around it, 'cause everything has led me straight to you. It's nothing new. Baby, I'm outside, been thinking about you all night. Been thinking it ain't right if you and me only see us in our dreams. I'm outside, been thinking about you all night. Been thinking it ain't right if you and me only see us in our dreams. I'm outside. You pick the station, sunrise, no destination, no lie, I've been so patient, like winter waiting for June. I'm done and waiting for you, waiting for you. Baby, I'm outside, been thinking about you all night. Been thinking it ain't right if you and me only see us in our dreams. I'm outside, been thinking about you all night. Been thinking it ain't right if you and me only see us in our dreams. I'm outside.
Hi vlog, happy Friday. I did not talk to y'all yesterday because I didn't feel like it. I kind of forgot to, but it was not an interesting day because, like you might be able to still hear, I am kind of sick. I promise I feel a lot better. I just sound a lot worse than I actually am, so that's great. I love that for me. But I am just going to take it easy again today and read some books. So I have lots of updates. The first of which is that I did start Seafire, and I've decided to put it down for now. I don't know if I'm going to consider this a DNF because it's one that I would definitely return to, but it was just doing nothing for me in the moment. I really couldn't get into it, even though the plot was interesting to me. I just liked the idea of it more than I liked the execution of it, I think, and I think I got almost halfway. I started the audiobook and I liked the audiobook, and then I switched to reading it on my iPad and I didn't like that experience, so I went back to the audiobook. And then I just got checked out and I had to keep revisiting chapters and certain scenes, and then I just got lost. So that's why I decided to put it down for now. It's about this girl whose family was taken and murdered before her eyes, basically when she was younger, so like 4 years ago. And it was taken by this evil pirate man named Eric. And she basically is now on a revenge mission to go find Eric and to take him down with an all-female pirate crew. So it was definitely an interesting concept. I liked the female empowerment part and how her crew was all female. I just wasn't feeling it, so I decided to put it down, and I started A Dragonbird in the Fern instead, which I told you guys about already. It's about a princess who ends up having to marry her sister's betrothed after her sister gets murdered. And so this one's really interesting. I like the murder mystery aspect, and I like the exploration of ghosts in the afterlife, and I also just really like the romance because it's more of like a subtle romance. It's hard to explain, but I really don't see this trope very often, which is miscommunication, but it's like a translation barrier because the main character, she does not have the knowledge of the language of the kingdom her betrothed is in, so she has to learn this language and learn how to communicate with him. And it's really cute because you can see that they care about each other, but they don't necessarily know how to articulate their emotions, and I'm just really liking it. It's really surprised me because I did not expect to like this book as much as I do, and I literally could not put it down last night. I had to force myself to turn it off and go to bed because I am enjoying it that much. It's one of the ones that you just want to stay up all night and finish with a little reading night. So like if you're looking for a really easy to read book that you're just gonna get sucked into, I definitely recommend this one. I think it's a YA fantasy standalone, which you don't see very often, so very grateful for that because again, don't like the commitment of a series, and it's just really, really fun, and I'm definitely excited to see where the plot goes, see where the romance goes. I'm intrigued to see who her sister's murderer actually was, because right now I really don't have that many ideas. I have one idea, but I feel like it would be really obvious and I'd be very devastated if that was the answer, but we'll see. Very fun, very different. It feels very familiar but refreshing at the same time because it's using a lot of tropes that you're familiar with YA fantasy, but it also does introduce new and less common tropes like the translation barrier. So definitely fun, loving it. I'm gonna try and finish it today and inform you of my final thoughts. I also did go to Barnes & Noble. Listen, we don't have to talk about it. I do not need to buy any more books, and yet I be here buying more books. So I want to show you what I bought because it's very exciting. I first of all got Crown of Feathers, which is about, I believe, Phoenix writers. Yeah, and I picked this up solely on M's recommendation from Bookish Potatoes, the love of my life. She's been telling me to read Crown of Feathers for months, and I really wanted to read it, but I wanted to wait until the third book had come out because I have a terrible habit of starting series that are not fully published. So the third book just came out, so I saw this at Barnes & Noble and I said, okay, today's the day, I'm gonna do it. So I've bought Crown of Feathers and hopefully I'll get to this one within the next few weeks. I also bought We Hunt the Flame, which I'm very excited about. I have talked about this on my channel before and said that I would read it, but I tried listening to the audiobook for it and I just got kind of confused because it is a higher fantasy, or at least from what I could tell in the first few pages of it. So I decided to just pick this one up physically because I think it'll be the best way to enjoy it for me personally. And this one is about a girl who dresses as a man and she has to go on this mission with her sworn enemy, I think, to recover a magical artifact. And so it's enemies to lovers because they're having to work together, and it just sounds really good. It has a lot of tropes that I know I already love, so I'm very excited about this, and it does come highly recommended from literally everyone I know. So I just had to buy this when I saw they finally restocked the paperback edition because I'd gone to Barnes & Noble before and they were literally completely sold out for weeks. So I'm very excited that this is back and that I can read it. Lastly, I got the most beautiful book known to man, Small Favors by Erin, who wrote House of Salt and Sorrows, and I feel like I haven't talked about it a lot on my channel because I read it pretty recently, and during that time I haven't really been active on booktube, but I read House of Salt and Sorrows and I loved it. It was one of my favorite books of the year so far, and it was just amazing, so atmospheric, so creepy, so gritty. And so when I heard that Erin Craig had a new book coming out, I had to purchase it. And I think this one is a YA fantasy horror, and to be honest with y'all, I know absolutely nothing about this, but I loved House of Salt and Sorrows that much that I had to purchase this, and I know I'm going to be reading this with Amanda from Ginger Snapped Reads and also Skylar from Skylar Reads together because we're all very excited about this. And I just want to show you, look at the spine and all the bees on it. It's so pretty. And the end papers, are you kidding me? It's literally beautiful. I'm so excited to read this, even though again, don't know anything about it, but I don't think that Erin Craig is going to disappoint me after House of Salt and Sorrows. So very much excited to be reading that. As you could tell, I was definitely in a fantasy mood when I went to Barnes & Noble. When am I not? But I feel like I don't have a lot of fantasy on my shelf that I've been excited to read, so that's why I decided to treat myself and just get a few at Barnes & Noble, even though I shouldn't because my paycheck was screaming at me, but it's fine. We got the books, it's done, there's no going back now. I am going to go and finish A Dragonbird and the Fern, like I said I would, and then we'll talk about what we're gonna read next, because I'm definitely not gonna read the Lisa Jewell book that I talked about in the beginning of this video. I did warn you that I will not make any commitments or promises to you, or to me.
For him or her or even
about you to make you just have a clue. All the shit you put me through. I can't believe I got to write 20 songs about you to make you just have a clue. All the shit you put me through. Tell me what you want, tell me what you need. Tired of trying just for you to leave. I was so sad just staring at my phone. Now I'm glad you're gone, I'd rather be alone.
Hi friends. I don't even know if I vlogged this entire weekend, even though I said this was going to be a weekend reading vlog. Weekly, I don't know what I was doing in the moment, okay, but I did not vlog yesterday and I did not read yesterday, so I mean that makes sense, but I have things to update you all on and then I'll wrap up this vlog. So the last thing that I remember talking to y'all about was reading A Dragonbird and the Fern, and I finished it, absolutely loved it, 5 stars. I highly recommend it to anyone who likes YA fantasy. I would even say, like, even if you don't like YA fantasy, I think that it's simplistic enough for anyone to enjoy. I think that the fantastical elements aren't too intense and it kind of just evokes emotion from just everything. I think that there's a lot of good aspects of the book to recommend to any type of reader, but especially, you know, YA fantasy readers, because it has the romantic tension, it has the magic system, it has the political intrigue, and I don't think any of it was extremely complicated. It just felt very romantic and incentivizing. Like, I just never wanted to stop reading this book and I freaking adored it. It's probably one of my favorite books of 2021 so far. So if you're looking for a nice little YA fantasy standalone, I highly recommend it. I don't know if there's going to be a series for it, but the book itself wraps up nicely as a standalone, but it also leaves room for the world to grow, so definitely don't have to read more books than just the one. I really liked it, and I hope that you pick it up as well and that you really like it too. I did actually start Small Favors by Erin, and I'm not very far into it. I'm maybe 40 pages into it, but I am adoring this book, and I still don't have a complete sense of what the book is about, but I know it has to do with beekeeping and monsters, and it takes place in this small town, and it just has like all the vibes of a book that I love. Like, I can already tell I'm probably gonna give this 5 stars because I just adore it so much. I just really like Erin Craig's writing style, and I think that she just does a fantastic job of writing setting. I just really feel like I can see this town, and I also just really feel like I know these characters and their day-to-day life. Even though I've only read 40 pages, like, I feel like I know all the small details, and I just love her writing. I feel like there's some authors that I just skip over certain words or phrases in their writing and I'm like, whatever, it's not important. But Erin Craig's writing, I'm like, I need to sink in every single word and not take it for granted, because she just has a fantastic way of writing, and I don't know what about it is, but it's just magnetic, and I really like her writing. It's not overly flowery, but it's not too simplistic, and I just really love her descriptions. And this is an Erin A. Craig fan account, so if you don't like that, you can unsubscribe now or whatever you want to do, but I really love this book, so I'm going to take my time with it, but I'm definitely eager to read some more of it, so that's what I'm going to be doing tonight before I have to go to bed because I have work in the morning, so I'm not going to read for too long. I hope that y'all enjoyed this reading vlog, and I'm just kind of glad that I felt in the mood to film a reading vlog because I just haven't had that feeling in a very long time, and I just really like making them, so I hope you enjoyed this. Long story short, don't forget to like this video if you did enjoy it, and subscribe down below to my channel if you haven't yet, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye y'all!